ABC Kinderteach presents Last Stop on Market Street, written by Matt de la Pena, illustrated by Christian Robinson. CJ pushed through the church doors, skipped down the steps. This must be CJ because it looks like he's skipping down the steps. And this must be the church. The outside air smelled like freedom. I think he was tired of being inside the church, so being outside made him feel free. But it also smelled like rain, which left small wet spots, CJ's shirt and dripped down his nose. So it doesn't look like it's raining outside, but it must be. He ducked under his Nana's umbrella, saying, "How come we gotta wait for the bus in all this wet?" It being so wet outside.
"Trees get thirsty too," his Nana told him. "Don't you see that big one drinking through a straw?"
CJ looked for a long time but never saw a straw. She's just saying that the trees were drinking in the water because trees, like people, need water. From the bus stop, he watched water pool on flower petals. And this is what water pooling on flower petals looks like. Watched rain patter against the windshield of a nearby car. Go drip, 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 drip. His friend Colby climbed in, that must be Colby, gave CJ a wave, and drove off with his dad, that must be his dad. "Nana, how come we don't got a car?" So he's asking his grandmother why they don't have a car. I wonder what she's going to say.
"Boy, what do we need a car for? We got a bus that breathes fire,"
shoots smoke out the back.
"And old Mr. Dennis," right there, "who always has a trick for you."
I don't know what kind of trick that is. The bus creaked to a stop in front of them. It sighed like this and sagged. Some buses lower themselves when they stop so that it is easier for people to get into them. And the doors swung open. "What's that I see?" Mr. Dennis asked. He pulled a coin from behind CJ's ear, placed it in his palm. So the bus driver pretended like there was a coin or like maybe a nickel behind CJ's ear, and he said, "Oh yeah, here it is," and that was a little trick. Nana laughed her deep laugh and pushed CJ along. So when she says she pushed CJ along, she didn't really push, but she just said, "Hey, let's go a little bit further back." They sat right up front. The man across the way was tuning a guitar. There's the man tuning a guitar, and that just means he's adjusting the sound so that it sounds as good as it should sound. An old woman with curlers had butterflies in a jar. Old woman, curlers, butterflies in a jar. Nana gave everyone a great big smile and a "Good afternoon." She made sure CJ did the same. So Nana's sitting in the bus, wants to make sure that she is friendly, and she tries to make everyone feel at home riding with her. The bus lurched, moved with a jerk, forward and stopped, lurched forward and stopped. Nana hummed as she knit. "How come we always gotta go here after church?" CJ said. "Miguel and Colby never have to go nowhere."
"I feel sorry for those boys," she told him. "They'll never get a chance to meet Bobo or the Sunglass Man, and I hear Trixie got herself a brand new hat."
CJ stared out the window, feeling sorry for himself. He did not want to be riding on the bus to go where they're going. He wanted to go out and have fun. He watched cars zip by on either side, watched a group of boys hop curbs on bikes. I bet he wants to be doing that instead. A man climbed aboard with a spotted dog. Here's the man, here's the spotted dog, and this white cane usually means that a person is either blind or has a hard time seeing. CJ gave up his seat, which means he let the man sit in his seat. "How come that man can't see?"
Boy, what do you know about singing? Nana told him. Some people watch the world with their ears.
That's a fact. Their noses, too, the man said, sniffing at the air. That's a mighty fine perfume you're wearing today, ma'am. Nana squeezed the man's hand and laughed her deep laugh. So she's being friendly with this man, too. Two older boys got on next. CJ watched as they moved on by and stood in back. Sure wish I had one of those, he said. CJ really wants to have a phone that plays music as well as some headphones to listen to it. Nana set down her knitting.
What for? You got the real live thing sitting across from you. Why don't you ask the man if he'll play us a song?
CJ didn't have to. The guitar player was already plucking, or flicking with his fingers, strings and beginning to sing. To feel the magic of music, the blind man whispered, I like to close my eyes. Nana closed hers too. So did CJ and the spotted dog. And in the darkness, the rhythm lifted CJ out of the bus, which means the music made him feel so good. Out of the busy city, he saw sunset colors swirling over crashing waves. Maybe something that looks like this. Kind of a almost nighttime colors and crashing waves. Saw a family of hawks slicing through the sky, which means flying, but their wings made them look sharp. Saw the old woman's butterflies dancing free in the light of the moon. So he's imagining all this stuff. CJ's chest grew full and he was lost in the sound, and the sound gave him the feeling of magic. So when he was listening to the music, he just felt so great. The song ended and CJ opened his eyes. Everyone on the bus clapped, even the boys in back. Nana looked at quickly, at the coin in CJ's palm. So she's looking at the coin saying, maybe I ought to give the coin to the man. CJ dropped it in the man's hat because he did such a good job. He's saying thank you with money. Last stop on Market Street, Mr. Dennis called. So it's time for them to get off. I wonder where they're going. CJ looked around as he stepped off the bus. Crumbling sidewalks might have looked like this, and broken down doors, graffiti tagged windows might look like this, and boarded up stores might look like this where they put boards over the windows. He reached out for his Nana's hand. How come it's always so dirty over here? She smiled and pointed to the sky.
Sometimes when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what's beautiful.
So even if it's not pretty around you, it makes you appreciate or say, wow, this is great when you do see something that is pretty. CJ saw the perfect rainbow arcing over their soup kitchen. So arcing just means it has a shape like this. Of course, there's the rainbow, and they're going to a soup kitchen, which is a place where you feed people that usually don't have a place to live. He wondered how his Nana always found beautiful where he never even thought to look. So his Nana always looked at the world as being a great place and always liked to be around people and be nice to people. He looked all around them again at the bus rounding the corner out of sight, and the broken street lamps still lit up bright, and the stray cat shadows moving across the wall. So they're probably in a part of town where people don't have a lot of money. When he spotted their familiar faces in the window, he said, I'm glad we came. So he really is happy that he is helping out and being able to talk to a bunch of different people. He thought his Nana might laugh her deep laugh, but she didn't. She patted him on the head and told him, Me too, CJ. Now, come on. So They're going to help, and there he is helping, and there's Nana helping.